And if you give me just a moment, I'll be able to join you with my mobile device so I can actually interact with you. So give me just a moment, please.
Recording in progress.
Okay, well, okay, well, here I am, and thank you so much for joining us this morning, Kenneth and Anthony, and Tomisha Walker. Ms. Walker, can you tell us where you're from? I know where Anthony and Kenneth are from. If you're able to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, Cleveland, Ohio. Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. Are you a farmer, or have you have any farmers in your immediate network?
I do.
Oh, then in that case, I may need to restart this so I can share with you additional information. Do you have any questions about what you've heard today?
No, it was actually pretty clear. I am going to be looking into what these specific requirements are, you know, as far as how they define farmers. But I will be sharing this. This is absolutely wonderful.
Well, I'm sorry your audio came through a little bit garbled. Can you do a Hollywood do-over, please?
Oh, sure. I was just saying I'll be sharing this with people, and I'll be looking into the requirements for what they define as farmers.
I think you said you wanted to know what the requirements were. I wasn't sure if that's what you said or not.
Yes, I was looking into the information on the website to see more about their definition of farmers, and I will be sharing this information.
I need you to type your question into the chat. I did not understand you at all. Did not.
Okay.
So, yes. So, Anthony Vasquez, thanks for joining us. I know that you yourself are a farmer. Perhaps you could introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your company, and then we can delve into that, and then we'll move on to Kenneth Wyrick for any questions. Anthony, if you can unmute yourself. If not, I'll move it over to Ken. Three, two, one. Kenneth Wyrick, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yes, I'm able to unmute myself. Good morning.
Good morning. Please introduce yourself, please.
I'm Kenneth Wyrick in Los Angeles. I mainly do information communication technology based on open source software, business, arts, and multimedia. And I'm not actually a farmer, but I'm interested in information. This has been a big issue with how the USDA has treated Black farmers. And there's so many that aren't even here anymore that have gone away as a consequence of maybe not getting support, or where families haven't been able to interest their offsprings to go into farming because it's so difficult. And I did have family in Arkansas that did the puckwood, had a lot of acreage back there, so that was an industry. So I'm just here to learn more about it, and that's about it. Urban farming, I don't think really qualifies, but
well, technically, yes, it does. It's not only does urban farming qualify, but also anyone that is a member of a tribe. All tribal farming qualifies, And as you know, the city of Los Angeles is only one of 88 cities in the county of Los Angeles. And it is Compton that is 100% zoned for agriculture. So it's very possible that there are members of our urban community that could qualify for this information. Tamika, I do see your questions. Anthony Vasquez, I know you are right now doing farming. However, you may be in transit. So, Anthony, are you able to unmute yourself? I couldn't hear you.
I am muted myself and I'll say welcome.
Try that one more time.
Oh, I think I'm hearing you now. There you go. How you doing?
I'm at least fantastic. You?
Good, good. Yeah, I didn't mean to unmute myself. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Just having a little bit of trouble with my audio. But as I'm listening, I am taking my notes. I know you would talk to my staff over this. I'd like to kind of listen a little bit more.
Oh, sure.
If I can introduce myself, that's fine.
Oh, okay. You faded out again, but I think I heard you, and I am going to start streaming again. Tamika, you do have some very valid questions, and so I'm going to take a further deep dive into this. So give me just a moment. I'm going to start sharing this again so that this information can get out to a wider audience. Just a minute. Technology is only great when it works is something I'd say quite often, but again, it's just proved itself to be true. But give me just a moment, please. Okay, we're going live again, so please bear with me just a moment. Yes, it looks as though we are streaming again, so give me just a moment. Do a little bit of housekeeping. So, Tamika, this is in fact, let's see if I can juggle this around here just a moment. I'm multitasking here, so bear with me just a moment. Oh, good. Okay, so now I can see that I am sharing my screen. What we have on the screen is a description of the Discrimination Financial Assistance Program. This was, let me go down a little bit here. This is specifically for those that may have experienced discrimination in the United States Department of Agriculture Farm Lending Program. Section 22007 of the Inflation Reduction Act authorized $2.2 billion in financial assistance to farmers and ranchers who experienced discrimination in USDA farm loans prior to January 1st of 2021. Even though we have been promoting this to be ending at the end of this year, there has been an extension to January 13th of 2024. The application is free and free technical assistance is available, either directly through the USDA or through its service providers. The steps to apply are very simple. You can apply online, and after I complete reading the information here, I'll actually click through so you can get more information. But you can register online and also find resources near where you are. USDA DFAP, Discrimination Financial Assistance Program, local offices are a network of brick and mortar locations where you can connect with in-person agents for help with applications and where you can drop off a complete application. Office hours and locations can be found at the link, which I'll be clicking when I get through reading this information to you. You can also get assistance through a call center. Telephone assistance is available. Live agents are available and eager to answer questions about applications at 1-800-721-0970 from 8 a.m. Eastern Time to 8 p.m. 7 days a week, except for federal holidays. There are partner organizations. USDA has ensured that groups with extensive experience conducting outreach to farm organizations are able to support individuals who may be eligible for the program. These groups include AgriAbility, the Farmer Veteran Coalition, Farmers Legal Action Group, Federation of Southern Cooperatives, Intertribal Agricultural Council, Land Loss Prevention Program, the National Young Farmers Coalition, and Rural Coalition. Applicants may also reach out to these groups for further information and assistance. As I said, Global Green Development Corporation, Global Green Development Group has over 30 years experience in providing technical assistance to individuals and larger companies. Now I'll click on this link so that we can actually go to the website. Oops. Allow. And we can only move as fast as the computer does. Let me try the other link at the bottom here. Okay, well, what we'll do is we'll copy it and paste it. Stop share. Again, thank you for your patience. I'll actually copy this into the chat so you can see it, or you can click on the link yourself. It's the that's http://2207 apply.gov. So I'm putting that information in the chat for you, Tamika. And I'm going to now go to my screen and click it to see if I can access it online. Yes, I can. So I'm going to start sharing again. Tamika, can you see the screen okay? Or Anthony or Kenneth, can you see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I think I heard you. So this is the website link. It's a discrimination financial assistance program. And it says what I just got through saying here. Of course, it's asking you to also beware of scams. But yes, you can determine whether you're eligible or not at this website link. You can access the application itself. You can learn about the regional and national review program, and also the disbursement schedule. So again, I'm going to simply click on these links. Eligibility. And at the top, you'll notice that the application deadline has been extended to January 13th of 2024. Eligibility requirements. Let's see if I can make this larger. Okay, the eligibility to qualify for financial assistance is available for individuals who either experienced discrimination prior to January 1st, 2021 by the United States Department of Agriculture in its farm lending programs, which are currently administered by the Farm Service Agency, FSA, or are currently debtors with assigned or assumed USDA farm lending debt that was the subject of USDA discrimination that occurred prior to January 1st of 2021. This applies, for example, if you inherited the debt that was subject of USDA farm lending discrimination by the USDA. Lending covered by the program. Discrimination experienced in all USDA lending programs qualify for the ability to apply for financial assistance through this program. Eligible farm lending programs include farm ownership loans, farm operating loans, microloans, youth loans, farm storage facility loans, emergency loans, economic emergency loans, emergency livestock loans, soil and water loans, conservation loans, softwood timber loans, and grazing loans. Note, the program covers both USDA direct and guaranteed lending through USDA's Farm Service Agency or its predecessor, the Farmers Home Administration. But for applicants who participated in guaranteed loan programs, discrimination by the non-USDA lender does not qualify for this program. Only discrimination by USDA personnel in USDA lending is covered. To be eligible to participate in the program, you must be or have been a farmer or a would-be farmer, be or have been a participant or would-be participant in farm lending, have experienced discrimination by USDA in USDA farm lending, or be a debtor with assigned or assumed USDA farm lending debt that was the subject of USDA discrimination. Be able to verify your identity and provide information to substantiate the discrimination experienced. Note, individuals who have personally prevailed and obtained money or loan forgiveness in a prior case addressing discrimination in USDA farm lending programs are eligible to participate in this program. This program covers discrimination based on different treatment you experienced because of race, color, or national origin or ethnicity, including status as a member of an Indian tribe, sex, sexual orientation or gender identity, religion, age, marital status, disability, reprisal or retaliation for prior civil rights activities. If discrimination was the cause, the following are examples of how that discrimination may have been experienced. Please note that this list does not indicate all potential covered discrimination, nor does it limit a potential applicant's ability to apply. This includes failure to provide appropriate assistance, a delay in processing loan or loan servicing application, denial of a loan or loan servicing, prevention from applying for a loan or loan servicing, adverse loan terms, unduly onerous supervision of loan requirements. The following are examples of losses the application asks about because they may have occurred because of discrimination by USDA in USDA farm lending programs. Please note that this list is not comprehensive, nor does it limit a potential applicant's ability to apply. These would include loss of agricultural land, loss of home if used by collateral for a loan, loss of money resulting from offsets, garnishments, or deficiency judgments imposed on an individual because of defaulting on a USDA farm loan, or USDA foreclosing on a USDA farm loan, other economic loss because of discrimination by USDA in USDA lending programs. This application includes step-by-step directions and a list of documents that are either required or recommended at each step. Providing documentation or evidence of discrimination will help submitted applications throughout the process. Warning, warning, warning. Do not include original supporting documents with your submission. Your documents will not be returned to you and may be destroyed after the program concludes in accordance with record management requirements. Please make and keep all original copies of all supporting documents that accompany your application. The information I just provided to you is available at 22007 apply.gov. You can find the eligibility requirements there. I'm going to return to 2207 apply.gov. This is the original site. Also, for those that are with us in the Zoom, you can find that information in the chat. You can also please share this information. You notice that the deadline is January 1st of 2021. Before that time, the discrimination must have occurred. It's unfortunate but true that discrimination has been occurring for decades in the USDA farm lending program for African Americans and minorities. So it may be the case that you know of someone or have someone in your family who is a victim of discrimination that may have occurred before the property was lost. In many cases, farms were lost and the homeowners or the owners displaced. So it's very difficult to reach or find people that are qualified to receive these funds. So please spread this information as far and wide as you are able to do so. The review process will begin after applications are received. There is a timeline and program deadline link here that will actually provide you the information. You can submit an application through January 13th of 2024. If your application is late, it will not be reviewed and you will not receive financial assistance. There will be no extensions. If your application is incomplete, it will be evaluated on the basis of the information that is included. To be counted as timely, applications submitted by US or overnight mail must be postmarked no later than January 13th of 2024. Applications submitted in person at a local office must be delivered by 8 p.m. local time on January 13th, 2024. Applications submitted online must be submitted by 11:59 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time on January 13th of 2024. The information submitted through the application form is the only application requirement for this program. There will not be any hearings, appeals, or other processes to apply to this program. You are encouraged to apply in advance of the deadline to allow time to resolve any questions on the application. Your application will be processed in the region that covers the farm or ranch listed in the application. So even though you may be in a state other than the one that the farm or property was owned or lost, your application will be processed in the region that covers the farm or ranch listed in the application. The review process will begin after receiving applications and will continue for several months. You will be notified of the status of your application once determinations are made. You may also check the status of your applications at forms.2207apply.gov. Note, you will need your confirmation ID to retrieve your application status. Payment disbursements. Payments for approved applications will be delivered early next calendar year by check through the U.S. mail. There are several ways to apply. You can apply online. When you click the link, you'll be taken to an online e-filing system. And you would click the link at the top to begin the application process. You are strongly encouraged to submit your application online via the e-filing system. Applications may be submitted online through the e-filing application form available at forms.2207apply.gov. Please do not email your application or supporting documentation for this program. We will not be able to consider applications and or supporting documents sent via email. Benefits of submitting your application via the e-filing form include instant access to your application status. You can log into your account to see the status of your application as it progresses through the review phase. Instant access to correspondence sent by the program staff. This includes information on the completeness of your application and requests for additional information to avoid any processing delays. You may upload your supporting documents directly to the program website. This will allow you to upload relevant documents directly to the program website. Get instant information on the completeness of your application. This will identify and whether you have skipped any part of it, so you will be more likely to avoid an incomplete application. Only answer the questions relevant to you. You may not be required to fill in all sections of the application. The application will only present the questions relevant to you based on how you answer qualifying questions. You may also mail a paper copy. There are two methods to obtain a paper copy of the application. You can download a copy of the application, and I must tell you, I suggest that you do download a copy of the application and then complete the application so that when you go online to file it, you will have information in front of you that will match the information that you register online. If you need the application in a language other than English or Spanish, you may call the DFAP call center you may contact the DFAP call center at info@2207apply.gov or phone at 1-800-721-0970. Number two, you may email the National Administrator at info@22007apply.gov or call the DFAP call center at 1-800-721-0970 and request that an application be mailed to you. Again, please do not email your application or supporting documentation for this program. We are not able to consider applications and or supporting documents sent via email. The submission instructions. 1, type or print your answers using black or blue ink. Your application must be readable by our representatives. If we are unable to read your application, this may result in its denial or a request to provide an updated application. Use either of the following to make your selection when answering a question that has a box or circle, check or X. A signature is required. Include a signed signature page, step 10, of the application with your completed application form. Be sure all documents you submit, including your application and all the supporting documents, have your Social Security number or individual taxpayer identification number printed at the top of the first page of each document. If you submit a statement under penalty of perjury, template by another person, in support of your application, you should use the form available at Resources and Documents, or a document substantially like it. I'll come back and click on that link to deep dive further into that. Number 6, please make and keep your own copies of all supporting documents that accompany your application. Do not include original supporting documents with your submission. They will not be returned to you and may be destroyed after the program concludes, in accordance with records management requirements. To submit your paper application, you can send the form itself, appendices, and copies of your supporting documents in one of the following ways. Mail, first class, or overnight to the appropriate regional hub. Choose based on the location of the farm that is the subject of the application. You can see the list of states, commonwealths, and territories below. Or drop off at the appropriate regional hub. Walk-in locations are available below. Applications and or supporting documentation will not be accepted via email, thumb drive, or facsimile. And finally, your application will be processed by the main regional office nearest the farm or ranch listed in the application. This page provides the regional assignments by state and territory. Each region has at least one physical location. You may call or visit these locations to get help completing the application. There are 4 regions. I will not read each of these states, but region 1, you have region 1, region 2, or for region 1, I'll put it this way. For region 1, you must visit or send your information to Windsor Group LLC, CODFAP Region 1. That address is 606710A, Rockledge, ROCKLEDGE Drive, Suite 400 in Bethesda, Maryland, 20817. You may reach them at 800-721-0972. For Region 2, you may use the 2207 Application Processing Center. Attention Windsor Group LLC, care of DFAP Region 2. That address is Gainesville Technical Entrepreneurship Center, GTEC, located at 2153 Southeast Hawthorne Road, Suite 217, Gainesville, Florida, 32641. That number too is 1-800-721-0970. Region 3, 2207 Application Processing Center, care of Mon Abri, MONABRI Business Center, located at 2524 North Broadway, Suite 338 in North Edmond, Oklahoma, 73034. The phone number again is 800-721-0970. And finally, Region 4, 2207 Application Processing Center, care of Mon Abri, that's capital MON, capital ABRI, Business Center at 2524 North Broadway, Suite 338 in North Edmond, Oklahoma, 73034. The phone number again is 800-721-0970. Submit your application in person at a local office. You may also drop off a completed application and supporting documentation at any of the program's dedicated local offices. Note, this program is being administered by non-governmental entities. Therefore, their offices are not FSA county or state offices. Alternatively, if you need assistance in preparing your application and feel more comfortable talking to someone in person, you may visit the program's dedicated local offices. You can fill out the online application on a computer in the office or have an agent provide assistance inputting the application online by answering questions to the application in person. In-person regional locations can be found by clicking this link. Timeline and program deadlines. You can submit an application through January 13th, 2024. If your application is late, it will not be reviewed and you will not receive financial assistance. There will be no extensions. If your application is incomplete, it will be evaluated on the basis of the information that is included. To be counted as timely, the application submitted by U.S. or overnight mail must be postmarked no later than January 13th of 2024. Applications submitted in person at a local office must be delivered by 8 p.m. local time on January 13th, 2024. Applications submitted online must be submitted by 11:59 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time on January 13th, 2024. The information submitted through the application form is the only application requirement for this program. There will not be any hearings, appeals, or other processes to apply to this program. You are encouraged to apply in advance of the deadline to allow time to resolve any questions on the applications. I know this is repetitive, but I'm going to repeat it and end up this presentation. Your application will be processed in the region that covers the farm or ranch listed in the application. The review process will begin after receiving applications and will continue for several months. You will be notified of the status of your application once determinations are made. You may also check the status of your application at forms.22007 apply.gov. Note, you will need your confirmation ID to retrieve your application status. And finally, payment disbursements. Payments for approved applications will be delivered early next calendar year by check through the U.S. mail. Thank you for your patience in allowing me to review that information with you. I'm now opening up the floor for any comments or questions, or if you're having difficulties with the audio, please feel free to put your question or comment in the chat. Give me just a moment, please. Let me share my screen so that those who are not here with us will not see dead time. Just a second. Here we go. Oops. Okay, thank you for your patience. I'm now looking at the chat. Scroll up here. Well, it looks like I've done my work quite well. I don't have any questions in the chat. Tamisha, I hope I was able to answer your questions. Anthony, I hope I was able to provide you with valuable information.
Yes, you were, brother. Yes, you were.
Okay, Ms. Walker, if you put your email information in the chat, I'll forward this to Mary Flowers. She's the person that is leading this through Global Green Development Group. But let me also put my contact information in the chat as well. And it's very simple. Andrew@andrewnetworks.com. Okay, with that, I'm going to end today's presentation. I want to thank you all for joining us, and I look forward to speaking with you in the future. Have a fantastic day.